it's recording. All right then. Thank you, Morag, for joining us today. I'm hoping it'll go really great. All right. So, firstly, we're gonna start off with a few questions and just about your experience with Operation Smile and how you joined Operation Smile. So, to everyone watching who might not know who you are and your place in Operation Smile, can you just give a bit of information?
Okay, so my name is Morag Cromey-Hawke, and I have lived in the UAE for 40 years now. I originally came for 2 years as a teacher and then spent quite a lot of time in the education field. And then back in 2010, I was just coming to the end of a 3-year contract as an education advisor on the school improvement programme. And Her Highness Sheikh Aliazia bin Saif Al Nahyan, Sheikh Abdullah bin Zayed's wife, he is the Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation. And so I was quite friendly with Her Highness. And so she said to me, I really want to set up a charity. And I went, wow, that's great, good for you. And she said, no, I want you to help me do this. So as I said, I was just coming to the end of a contract as an education advisor. So I said, so what kind of charity would you like? And straight off, she said, I want to help children with facial deformities, like cleft lip and cleft palate. Well, I was astounded because I thought, wow, where did you get this from? And she said when she was in London, she'd read one of the newspapers and she'd come across an article about all the challenges that these babies face from the day that they are born. And she said it always stayed with her. So I thought, wow, that's really, really interesting. So, my background was education, and I thought, well, this is more medical. So let's look at some charities that are already set up, and maybe we can sort of help and get a foundation in the UAE. So we looked at several, and then we came across Operation Smile. And the big thing was that we saw that, all the medical people were volunteers. So the plastic surgeons, the pediatricians, the nurses, the dentists, the speech and language therapists, all gave up their time to help children in need. And then, of course, so that ticked one of the boxes for us. And then the next thing that I saw that they were really keen for students to be involved. And Bill and Kathy McGee had brought their daughter on the first mission that they went to in the Philippines and saw how much students could actually participate in missions and what good they could do during those missions to help children relax, help parents relax, get things ready that other people needed. So I thought, wow, yeah, that means I still get to carry on the education side of it. And I get to go into schools and universities and be able to speak to students. So that was the big thing for me as well. So that ticked another box. So back in 2010, we got in touch with Operation Smile. And they said, wow, there's a mission starting in Morocco. Could you go and see it? So I said, well, just let me see if my contract has ended. So as it happened, on the 30th of June, my contract ended. I drove an hour and a half back from one of the desert schools into Abu Dhabi, packed a bag, got on a plane and landed in Morocco that night. And then as we were sitting around, I met volunteers from all over the world, from Belgium, from Canada, from Hawaii, from Egypt. And they all started saying, I'm plastic surgeon from Hawaii, I'm a speech and language therapist from Canada. And then it came out to me and I thought, wow, I'm here to see how it goes. And I didn't know what to say. And before I could say anything, someone stood up on my right-hand side and they said, and this is Morag Cromey-Hawke, she's the new executive director of Operation Smile UAE. And I looked and I went, wow, when did I apply for that job? But 6 days later, and I saw how Operation Smile worked, and everything was put together, and people that didn't even know each other, but all had the same goal to help children in need. And 6 days later, over 140 children had received surgery, so many new smiles, and I came back and Sheikh Aliazi said to me, what do you think? And I said, I don't know what we're waiting for. Just let's do this. And the rest is history. We've done over 50 international missions. We've done 5 local missions. We've provided smiles for over 3,500 children. And a lot of it is thanks to all the work that some of you students have been doing.
Thanks. That is very mind-blowing. That wait, how long has Operation Smile been in the UAE?
I went to that first mission in Morocco in 2010. When we came back, we started all the legal things to get the charity licensed and approved in the UAE. So in January 2011, we got approval to be a registered charity in the UAE.
So in 10 years, the fact that you guys had that much of an impact on children's lives is really amazing, really. What's your favorite part about working with Operation Smile? And is there any any specific point where you work with Operation Smile that really stood out to you?
Lots of times, lots of different occasions. Every time I go on an international mission, I see something else that really sort of rings true for me. On the first UAE funded mission to the Philippines, I met this little boy, Prince, he was called, and his mom and dad had more or less abandoned him when he was 3 years old, and his grandmother and grandfather looked after him. And it was just so interesting to be with him, and he was so quiet and withdrawn, and we discovered that his parents hadn't come back to look after him or see him and everything. And I was quite upset because I thought, how can you abandon your child like this? But his grandmother was so loving, and although she was in her 60s, she just loved this little boy. And it was just totally amazing. And the funny thing was that the grandmother had also been born with a cleft lip, and she'd had it repaired in the days where they didn't fully understand all the different layers that you have got to be able to do so that the lip will be a functioning lip. And yeah, so it was just totally amazing, because in the end, we actually repaired the grandmother's lip as well. So they had a really good bonding experience. So there was that. And then when we went to Vietnam, and there were so many children there, and we didn't have enough post-op beds for them. And they had to actually share the beds, one half for one mom and the baby and the other half for the other mom and the baby. And yet nobody complained. They were so, so happy that their children had received surgery. There are just so many moments. Each mission that I've been on, there's been another moment that, you can truly see that you're changing people's lives. And then of course, working with some of the students is just totally amazing as well. There's so much fun, so much energy. I love every minute of it.
What gets you the most excited about the future of Operation Smile and the bigger impact the Operation Smile can actually make as time goes on?
I think sometimes when we see some of the adults that come to us, early 20s, early 30s, that have never had their lip or their palate repaired, and then we can actually really change their lives. And they've struggled all through their lives up until their 20s or 30s. And yet, when one surgeon will actually spend 45 minutes to an hour or 2 hours just to repair their palate or lip, and it suddenly changes their whole life. And you think they've struggled for so many years when they didn't really have to struggle. Now we can change the lives of these children when they're very young. And you think they've gone all their lives through this because they didn't have access to safe surgery. I think as we grow and we provide more access to more children so that they never have to go through the bullying, they never have to go through the ridicule, and they can live their lives just like us. I think that's the huge impact.
Okay. That is really, it really does give something great to actually look forward to, because as we know that 2020 being the year that it is, it has really affected a lot of people, I think. And along with, COVID-19 and everything else, could you touch upon what Operation Smile, whether it's in the UAE or Operation Smile globally, has done during this period of time?
Okay, well, all, or mostly all of the international missions were put on hold due to the COVID situation. And even our mission in August that we had planned for when we hoped to operate on 20 to 24 children, it was postponed as well. And it was like devastating to think that, you know what, how are we going to catch up on all the children that we would have done this year? I mean, we're speaking about thousands when you think of all the different international and local missions throughout the world. And that was going to be thousands of children that you're going to have to catch up on. And now, during this year, there's been just as many children being born again. So, you're going to have a huge backlog to cover there. So we were absolutely amazed in September when Cleveland Clinic said to us, let's talk, let's see what we can do. Now we're a COVID-free hospital, we don't have to worry about that. And they said, we'll allow you to operate on up to 8 children. And so we quickly got everything organized, and for the very first time, Operation Smile UAE organized a medical program with only local volunteers. So we didn't have to fly anybody in. We had enough medical volunteers in the UAE to do this program, along with the help from Cleveland Clinic, of course. So we operated on 8 babies in that time, and they're all doing extremely well. Then on top of that, one of the new anesthesiologist volunteers from HealthPoint, they said, I don't know why our hospital isn't doing this as well. So we arranged a meeting with all the management from HealthPoint, and they said, yes, we want to be on board too. So they allowed us to do 5 surgeries in December. So that was another 5, and everybody is COVID-free. We were very good at keeping within restrictions, making sure everybody was safe. So we've done 13 surgeries in a year where not many children were receiving the surgeries. And even in July, August, and September, we realized that so many children were in situations where their parents had lost their jobs, not just our patients, but other children in the UAE as well. So we did some fundraising, and we came up with baby packs. So nappies, formula milk, powdered milk, vitamin D drops, and we gave these out to hundreds of families who were really in need during this time. So that's what Operation Smile UAE was doing. And throughout the world, in India, they were helping feed families that, that just didn't have any income whatsoever. In the States, they were giving out food packages and clothes to people that couldn't afford it. So in all of the countries, they were trying their best to do something or other, maybe even provide them with masks and gloves and, to keep people safe. So Operation Smile never sat down and said, okay, we can't do anything just now. We looked at other ways to help people.
And the fact that you guys were able to adapt, and me being a student, and in our school, we really do volunteer with Operation Smile. We had to change a lot with how we did that, because I know a lot of fundraising stuff that we did in school was with fun fairs and live events, but it all had to change because of COVID-19, and it was a shame. But I think it's really great how the progress is going on. What do you think, with the topic of, again, student volunteers, what do you think of the young generation coming up to Operation Smile and making a change?
Oh, I think, the students, they're the way forward. So whether they go into medicine and become the next generation to help do the operations or, look after the patients or whatever, or whether they're the fundraisers of the future, or whether they're the ones that will drive change with the governments and medical authorities. But the people and the students that I see on board with Operation Smile UAE, you know, I take my hat off to all of you, because you take on that challenge and you really go for it. So we have got some amazing students. I mean, we've had 2 online U leads, we've had 1 online pre-U lead, and it's just been wonderful to see the enthusiasm of all the students on board here. So I know that the students of today, if they get involved with Operation Smile, they will move forward with it, and they will be the ones that will take on the challenges of the future, and hopefully eventually we'll come to a time where, you know, everyone has access to safe surgery, whether it's for a cleft lip and cleft palate or for something else. But I know that the students of today are ready to take on the challenges of tomorrow.
Okay. A lot of people who are going to watch this video are either not involved with Operation Smile right now, or have heard of Operation Smile and wanna like actually get involved with Operation Smile. So could you just explain to anyone out there who might want to help and volunteer how they can get involved with Operation Smile, whether that be donating, acting as a student volunteer, or just spreading awareness?
Okay, so if you're a student, so most of our activities when pre-COVID were sort of in-person type of things, either through a student club at your school or through the Operation Smile Foundation in UAE at some of our other events. So you can get in touch with student programs at operationsmileuae.ae. If you are an adult but not into the medical fields, then you can get in touch with community volunteers at Operation Smile UAE. No, sorry, volunteers at operationsmileuae.ae. And then, of course, if you're a plastic surgeon, a pediatrician, a nurse, a dentist, and speech and language therapist, then please get in touch with us at medical volunteers at operationsmileuae.ae. Now, on our operationsmile.ae website, there is a donate button. So if you want to donate to Operation Smile, then please feel free to visit our website and connect with us on the donate button. I know that the students just now are going through and have set up some YallaGive pages. So if you visit the YallaGive site for Operation Smile, you will see all of the students' activities that are going on, and you can actually donate and help them raise the funds for Operation Smile.
Thanks. I think there's just one more question. But before that, I really want to congratulate all, like, you and everyone in Operation Smile, because I think it's the 10-year anniversary of Operation Smile UAE, and it's coming up, isn't it?
The 10-year anniversary will come up in January. So hopefully we want everybody to be involved. We want it to be a year-long happiness event, and trying to make as many smiles as we can during this next year. So it's great that we've got some more hospitals on board that want to help us do some medical programs. So, you know, that's already a good start to the year. We're hoping that, you know, this vaccine for COVID will make everybody a lot more safer, and that we can do more fundraising events and get the students back involved with us on a face-to-face interaction. But if it doesn't, and this is the new norm, then we can still move forward with it and we can all keep safe. But yes, the 10th anniversary, we've got a competition out just now because we want to have a t-shirt competition. So we want people to put in their ideas of, you know, for a t-shirt to commemorate the 10th anniversary of Operation Smile UAE. So anybody that's interested in that can send us in some designs. But yes, we've got lots and lots planned. So everybody can keep up to date either on our Operation Smile UAE Facebook page, Instagram, Twitter, Twitter, we've got all of those that we can follow us on.
All right. Last question. To anyone out there who might know someone in a country who does not have the financial resources or who lives in a place where they can't get the proper surgery for their cleft condition, what advice would you give them, and how would you say for them to contact Operation Smile?
Okay, so we have got foundations all over the world. So even if it's not in the country that you're in, then quite often we can put you in touch with a foundation that is close to you. So, just contact Operation Smile UAE, and we will put you in touch with the other countries where the foundations are, or where we think you might be able to be close to that can receive the surgery. So we're always willing to help find a solution to allowing children to get the surgery that they really need.
All right, then. I think this is good. But quickly before I end this, thank you, Morag, for joining us, for joining me actually. And to everyone watching, please visit help_the_world_Sonreír at Instagram, and check out Yala Gift to donate to Operation Smile, because it is a great cause and it could really make someone's smile a lot better. So yeah, thank you, Morag, for joining us.
Well, thank you, and it was great speaking to you, and I hope we can inspire even more people to come on board and help all of these children that would love to have a smile, that they can feel happy and feel valued and change their lives forever. Okay, thank you.